The biggest problem is to see the difference between the conceptual and actual experience. So you can repeat all day long, there is no self, there is no self, there is self is illusion. You can repeat that till your face turns blue. Doesn't make any difference. Because it's not about concepts. It's not about language. It's not about how to describe this. It's about living everyday experience with knowing that all this is life. Everything is life. Everything is life flowing freely. There is no manager, no doer, no decider, nobody with free will outside of life, making life happen. And because it's so simple and so obvious and so in the face all the time, it's the most difficult thing to see, because the mind is not paying attention to that. It's paying attention to contrast. It's paying attention to what's sharp, what's new, what's different, what's taking attention, right? And that which is in the background all the time is always here. So it's simple, but very difficult. And when we are looking for what is obvious, there is no way to describe it. There's no description. And that's the difficulty for the mind. Because the mind is working on a conceptual level. So how is that for you? Do you see it or do you think about it? Do you get it? Like really get it? Or you think that there is still some kind of wall, some kind of trap or something to cross over? I really like this concept of gateless gate, because people write to me or come to me and say, I want to cross the gateless gate. Yep, that's what I'm here for. I just want to cross the gateless gate. I say, you know why it's gateless? There is no gate. It's just nothing to cross. There's just what is here all the time, including now. So for the mind, there is something to do, somewhere to get to, or something to achieve. But what is here beyond words? What is here that all the descriptions fail? It's this moment, alive, living, vivid, real, true. Doesn't need to be imagined. It cannot be imagined, because as soon as you imagine it, it's not it. So it's kind of paradoxical, because seeking is trying to end by seeking. It cannot end by seeking. It can only end by stopping. Kind of have to give up all the concepts, all the ideas about what this should be like, what it should feel like, what's going to happen. So-and-so said it this, another one said like that, but what is here beyond concepts, beyond words? There is this test. If I say, there is no self at all, never was, never will be, there is nothing separate making life happen, in charge and control of life. There's nobody here running the show. I never was. And the test is such that, yeah, no big deal, sure. Or there's some kind of resistance coming up. protesting, but coming up, contraction, not wanting this to be true. So this is your test. You can really see what's going on in you. There's no self to awaken. There's nobody here to arrive at some kind of realization. It's that someone, it's imagined. So let's hear your butt and let's start digging. And somebody say, I object. Let's hear it. Or maybe it's clear, simple, and yeah, what am I doing here? It's, sky is blue. Yeah, sky is blue. No worries. How much can you talk about this?
Hi, Ilona.
Hi, Ellie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Long time.
Yes.
I was away.
Oh, okay.
So, this test that you mentioned, I mean, if you tell yourself anything frequently enough, like if you're a religious person or belonging to such and such religion, if you tell yourself that the opposite of that, then you are going to or if you, let's say, if you're an atheist, if you tell yourself an atheistic thing, it's not going to, you're not going to face any resistance there. You can get used to something and not face any resistance there because your mind is so used to it. It's just not flowing. The emotions are not flowing except according to one set of rules. That's what happens with most people. They get used to those things.
I agree. And you know what? You cannot lie to yourself because as soon as something happens, an argument or some situation happens, all these concepts, they fly away. You cannot lie to yourself. Yes, you can get used to it. I hear you. Yeah. And there's so much now, so many people repeating there is no self, there is nobody here. You can repeat these words, not seeing it and not realizing that. That's true. But deep inside, you know what is true. Whether you see it or you're just repeating it, you know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a good point. Thank you, Ali. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ilona.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. And you?
Thank you. Very well. I'm still sometimes contemplating the koan, or the riddle that once it's seen, it can't be unseen.
Mm-hmm.
Because the mind does come back and beliefs, even if you unplug a fan, it continues to spin, that kind of idea.
Yeah.
So I think you gave me a glimpse, yeah, like whenever it was 20 years ago when we first met. And I think the mind and the belief just is still a habit to identify with sensation, picture, story. And so yeah, I don't have an answer yet to once it is seen, it is not um it's irreversible.
Hey, I hear you too. Sometimes it's easy to forget and can take years to remember. Because a glimpse is a glimpse. It's a good start.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good start.
Yeah.
But then you said the mind identifies. It's not that I am the mind, I am this, I am that anymore. So it may even be subtle. And that belief may remain and linger that there's something else to get. But again, you cannot lie to yourself. You cannot go back to believing what you believed before. So if I tell you now that you are the separate entity outside of life, like separate from the whole universe, just living inside the separate body that doesn't depend on anything, it's kind of island in existence. And then you are the one that is driving this body and making it do things. Does that sound right to you?
No. No.
But that was the default belief.
Like you told me, look, and then when you look, there's nothing to see.
Yeah, but that's
there's
kind
not
of
always
default
looking. There's
belief.
not always looking.
Right?
Sorry.
But imagine now believing that Santa is real. You can't. Like real as in some entity that brings presents to kids one night all over the world. It's impossible to believe that because it's fictional. You know that. You can't believe that. You can't even pretend that you believe that. Because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's more subtle than, mind wants this to be. It's much more subtle.
Yeah, there could be trauma. There could be kinds of reasons why there still needs to be a protective mechanism separate from other empty phenomena.
Yeah. Like if I go in a lake and draw a circle around the body in the water and say, okay, now this is protection. Now I'm protected from the water. That's kind of what happens. But because, it's hypnotic. And hypnotism is something that mind sees through that suggestion. Everything looks normal through that suggestion. You can't see it differently because that suggestion is like the primary lens. And you don't look at the lens, you look at what it's seen through that lens. So yeah, you can hypnotize yourself that now you drew a circle in the water and you are protected from the outside water. That's how it looks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yesterday was 14 years for Liberation Unleashed. It was a birthday
14,
of 14 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still.
Special time.
It's a long time ago.
Long time ago, yeah. It's amazing that it's still going.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, glad I met you.
Yeah, thank you.
I would like to talk about resistance.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, please. One of my favorite topics.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Like the resistance, when I look at all the mechanisms of the mind or the ego, I kind of, over the last couple of weeks or months, I would say, I came more and more to the conclusion that resistance is, like kind of at the base of it all, or at the core of the whole ego structure. And I'm kind of wondering if there's always kind of a belief system behind the resistance. Like for me, there are, like certain emotions that that's, let's say, bad emotions like sadness or something, right? It's not a big problem, but there are some emotions where there is kind of a resistance to it, right? And for me, I'm a chronic pain sufferer, so for me, the biggest resistance is, like when I have like a strong feeling of pain, like on a pain scale around 7 or 8. I can, like accept it before that, but then there's kind of a threshold where, every kind of acceptance goes out the window, and then the there is this resistance that I want to like want the pain to be away or something, and I don't even know exactly if there is um kind of a belief behind that resistance. And the funny thing is, for me, it's really like the resistance never stops the flow at all. It's still, life is still flowing. It's just on top of it, there's this other thing that is kind of making it miserable. So I'm not even sure where I want to go with that. But like the whole resistance, when I'm doing self-inquiry or something, it's usually kind of centered around the resistance to various, like people, places, emotions, whatever comes up, or pain or something. Maybe you can talk a bit about that.
Oh yeah, this is such a rich topic. One of the biggest teachers, one of the most juicy teachers. It's called resistance. Yeah, it's amazing how much it can teach. But let's just unpack it. That first of all, resistance is saying, I don't like this. I don't want this. This shouldn't be happening. I want something else. This is no good. It's just acknowledging that this is uncomfortable. So it's not wrong or bad. It's making resistance into something wrong or bad. It's resisting resistance. And it's a sandwich. Right. You get a sandwich. Let's say sadness comes in. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, let's get rid of it. But then, oh, I don't like resisting this either. This shouldn't be happening. This is too much. So it's kind of locked into a resistance sandwich. The way to undo it is so simple, it's ridiculous. It's 2 words, I agree. I agree. I don't like it. I agree.
Yeah, but it's
uncomfortable.
It's the same what you said, Ilona, with you can say all the day long there is no ego, and if you don't believe it, that's the whole. You can say I agree, but
yeah, but
if you don't feel it,
you
then
just say it, I agree to start with. But do you feel any resistance now? Let's just get into it like in real time, because we can talk about conceptually or we can look at it.
A bit. It's not. There's always a little bit of low level resistance. It's not uncomfortable, but there is a bit. Yeah, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, let's welcome it here. It's okay. You can be here. Resistance, you're very welcome here. You can be. Now, where do you feel it in the body?
Yeah. The funny thing is, I would say, I think it might have been like 2 weeks ago or something, where when for the first time, I could actually feel where I could separate the resistance from the emotion. Usually resistance comes up with fear, like fear, anger, kind of that kind of stuff. Not so much with sadness, but with fear, and it was always very fused, I could never kind of unpack it. And the last time was for the first time where I noticed it was the resistance was completely different, or there was something else to the anxiety or to the fear. But I'm not sure if I can even localize it in the body. I mean, usually it starts somewhere in the stomach, like lower belly. There's some sort of contraction, like that holding pattern somehow. From all the years of the chronic pain, I guess there's always some little bit of armor around the mid-core section, let's say. But where it exactly is, the resistance is, if I'm completely honest, it's kind of hard to say,
Right. But just by looking at it, you already kind of get curious about it. And it's less of a problem. Just by looking at it. Like, what is this resistance actually? What's going on here?
Yeah, it's a good question why it should be a problem.
It's just
Or
informing
why it's a problem.
that there is something there that you haven't looked at. How about that? Is a guide for you on the spot, which is showing you what you haven't looked at.
Yeah, I know that consciously. I just can't. I think you're right. There's something.
And I want also to acknowledge and say, I'm sorry that you have to go through so much pain. That sucks. Really sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but I don't know what. There's definitely something there that I haven't looked at, but it's really it's really well hidden, I would say. I mean, I've looked at it so many times, and it still likes to hide. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
maybe there is
for
nothing
me, it
there.
was kind of sorry.
Maybe there is nothing there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's interesting.
See, our mind gives labels to everything. It learns words, it kind of keeps labeling. Now, what we call the resistance, it's a sense of, I don't like this. No, this shouldn't be happening. Right? It's not just narrative. There is also contraction, tension, or like hiding, or trying to get away, or trying to push something, or pull something. So imagine it's like some kind of egg, right? Without the shell, and there's a membrane, the membrane around the egg to hold the shape, to hold the form, right? So that membrane, it will let in something that is already like resonating, or something that is already, accepted, but it will not let in something that is not something new, for example, or something contradicting what's going on inside. So the resistance, the job of it is to protect the system, or the belief system, or the personal structure, or structure of a person, identity structure, from being challenged, from being dismantled or corrupted or whatever. It's just protection. So like membrane, it's always pushing and pulling.
I think, when you said maybe there, when like a couple of minutes ago, when you said with the resistance, maybe there's nothing there. I could feel that something was activated just by you saying it, you know, because it's acknowledging, you know, like all the resistance, you know, like my whatever is going on here, the resistance is important, or you know, it's there, it's hard to let go of, blah blah blah. And you know, when you said it, you know, like it was like I had a kind of weird sense that the resistance is not really real or something, or yeah, it was interesting. That's really interesting.
See, the resistance as a sensation, yes, it arises, but there is a narrative about it. All the thoughts that instantly come, I don't want this, this should be different.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that brings in the me. The narrative brings in the me. And because there is a sensation that arises as well. So what we call me or I is really resistance.
Mm.
So it's just
Yeah, do you
misidentified.
mind? Yeah, maybe do you mind if I tell you something? I'm not sure if that's completely relevant, but you know, like for quite some times, I always thought that I always have resistance with fear, you know, and the other negative emotions, you know, I could, you know, sometimes even enjoy it, you know, like bittersweet, like the sadness that was never, usually I don't want to get rid of it, you know, and like, but for me, fear was always kind of, I thought that's where I had the most resistance. And then like pretty recently, I had a session with someone, and I realized that actually that emotion that I thought was fear was to a large degree also anger. And that kind of changed suddenly how I saw whatever was going on. So just maybe to make it a little bit more clear, before that it was fear, so I felt, you know, like weaker, or, you know, wanted to get rid of the fear. And as soon as I realized it was anger, I had this kind of empowerment, whatever. And then I noticed, oh wow, there is some story there that I wasn't able to see before that, right? And so I know there is some sort of story around the resistance, right? But it's still, I mean, what you said about the membrane, that's a really interesting kind of metaphor. Maybe, yeah, maybe you can say a little bit more about that. Um, how, how, I mean, you say this so many times, just look, but you know, sometimes I'm always asking me how should I look exactly, or where do I
Good
look? Is
question.
it always with the sensations or with the thoughts that come up
Okay, how
when
to
I'm feeling
look?
the sensation?
This is a very great question. It's a very important question because how do you look? Looking is not thinking.
Right.
For example, look around the room right now. What you see is what you see. The need to name every object. The need to know what it's made of. If you look at the wall, what is it made of? What is the wall made of?
I don't know, colors. Just by
Yes,
looking,
yes.
it is colors and shapes and
Do you know the names for every
uh,
shade?
sorry?
Do you know the names for every shade? Like the color
Uh,
concept is white, for example, in my room is white. But that's the concept, that's the idea. But when you look at it, it's just so many shades, different colors there.
yeah, no, I don't probably don't know all the names for for the shapes. No,
Are you
and
the
I
names?
mean, even you can argue that there are no shapes; that is all just colors. You know, like
Right.
that I'm just projecting whatever. You know, I can view it as just colors, basically. You know.
Yes. Yes. So this is looking. It's not thinking. Because if I say, what is the wall made
Mm.
of? And you would say cement and maybe bricks. That's thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh,
experience
yeah,
is
yeah,
just color.
yeah.
Now, if I
Yeah,
ask
I
you,
mean, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
do you have a window in your room? Do you see outside through the
Mhm.
window? Is it light or
Yeah,
dark?
it's light.
Okay. So don't look now. But tell me, what's the weather?
Uh,
Don't
uh,
look. Don't look.
kind of, kind of sunny.
Uh-huh.
Uh, what else? Kind of warm. I don't know what you want me to say. What's the weather? Nice. I'm not sure
Okay.
where you're
See,
going with it.
this is coming from thinking. This is
Yeah.
conceptual. This is not looking. Now, if you look through the window, you can look now.
Uh,
See, you can see and describe what you see.
yeah. No. Again, I can say it's only colors, but I can also say there's a sky, there are trees, there's a house.
Is it windy?
But that's not really. No.
Yeah, but you see, you can look and see. The point is you can look and see and describe what you see. Thinking, you don't need to look.
Yeah.
You just think.
Okay, so when you look at resistance, then you're just looking at sensation.
Yes, what arises? What sensation? Where in the body? How intense? What are the thoughts that come with it?
Right. Yeah.
What's the narrative? What do they say? How does body respond to that? You are looking. Because you can read a whole 3 books about resistance and not look once. And you would think that you know everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But as soon as you look, you know more than 3 books can contain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a bunch of sensations. And I think depending how intense they are in a certain part of the body, it locks the attention. And then you're maybe not able to look really. Maybe that's part of the problem for me, I think. Not sure.
You know what else? What we call suffering is resistance. What we call suffering is that tension that arises. I don't want this. This should be different.
Yeah.
So the pain is pain. It can be very intense and very uncomfortable. At some point, there is I that comes in that doesn't want it. Or poor me,
Yeah.
or whatever stories happen with it. And that's what's more painful than a pain.
Yeah, I heard this many times. I'm not sure if I completely believe it, actually, depending on the level of pain. But maybe that's only just a thought. But yeah, I heard this many times. I was never really completely able um, to be completely okay with the pain at a certain level. I mean, it depends on the intensity. I mean, I heard people claiming to be okay with pain, and I've seen it, but for me, it's always kind of difficult.
You know, it's okay to be not okay.
To be okay, what?
To be not okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
When it hurts, it hurts. Sometimes it's not okay. And it's okay.
Mm. Mm.
We are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain.
Yeah, for sure.
So when the pain is here, the pain is here. You resist it or not, it's here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's I think I have to sit a bit with the membrane. It's an interesting. Never seen the resistance as a container or something, but it's an interesting idea.
Okay, so what is the most
But
precious for us? What is the most precious? It's the me. The most precious, right? Me. What I am. Who I am. I'm like this, I'm like that, I'm this, I'm that. That's the most precious. That's the identity that is, being taken. Don't take it away from me. This is what I am.
Right.
That's where the resistance comes in. That's what it protects, the identity. Because what are you without identity? Huh? Doesn't take away identity, it takes away the me that has it.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hi, Ilona.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
I had a question about if someone's going through a process where they feel they need to go through mind understanding of people, relationships in their lives, closing the circle on coming out of denial, seeing things clearly from the past and present, whether it relates to, let's say, abusive situations, narcissism, whatever it is, not being in denial anymore, seeing things clearly. And there's a strong desire to go through a process like this of calling things out, no longer coming and trying to make things better and trying to deny and whatever, a whole process like this. I don't know if I need to say more if you understand what I'm talking about, but I guess for me right now, that's at the forefront. I need a mind understanding. I need closure. I need to stop lying to myself or hoping that people can be different. In other words, there's a whole process I'm going through on that kind of level, of the human level. And I guess my question is there anything I can do? Like, I don't want to gaslight myself and say, it's all just a thought. It's all your perception. I don't want to do that at this point right now. It's very important for me to not lie about what's happening. And I feel seeing the truth is very important because I've lied to myself for so long. I want to be clear about the situation. And yet it's very confusing to me. All these things are is it just a thought or is it actually happening in all this? But even if I don't go there, it's like, is there any way that non-duality or coming to more reality can help me even while I'm going through the process? Or do you think it's better to first go through this process, understand, assimilate, integrate, and then come back to non-duality? Or is there anything where it can help me deal with like this sorrow of seeing that people who I love for so long are not capable of love or empathy, or seeing them repeat that cycle with their own children, and they live next door and I'm watching it happen in real time and it's breaking my heart? So is there anything, and I tried to spiritualize it for a while and be like, oh, I'll just become a floating cloud and I'll see that there's no me and none of this will bother me, but I'm seeing I need to resolve it on the human level. And I guess, is anything on the non-dual level that can help while I process this without gaslighting myself? I don't know if that makes sense, but
It makes complete sense. This is exactly the question. That what is the living non-duality? What is being present? Because we can think, oh, this is just a thought, or this is not happening, but that's denial. And what is really happening is what you're feeling in the body. Being honest is being honest with what you're feeling. And what helps is just knowing that all these feelings, emotions, they come up to be felt. They come up to be noticed. They come up to be experienced. So it's okay. It's okay to feel what you feel. Because just saying, oh, that's just a thought, it's called bypassing, right? There's nobody here to feel anything. It's bypassing, meaning that you are not accessing your body, the wisdom of the body, the emotions. So the only thing is, it's not like a separate thing, a non-duality and a psychology. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Non-duality is that everything is one. Everything is one energy. It's happening by itself automatically. So no separate parts. There are no separate parts. So it includes the psychology. It includes the humanness and mass and all these patterns and lessons and everything. Everything's included.
in other words, there can be truth in it. Like, can I finally put my mind to rest? Like, it's been ruminating for years. Is it me? Is it them? Is it true? Is it not? Are they good? Are they bad? Like, ruminating for years. And now I'm coming to a place where I can't, in other words, I'm trying to like finalize it and just trust my own perception of their behaviors and what I see there. And on the other hand, it's like, but that's just a thought. And in other words, it's just my label of their behavior, or can it be, is there a truth there? And I'm kind of like wanting to contact like the best like psychiatrist or something to like validate it or something, to like finally put my mind at rest or something. In other words, is it just a thought about them, or is there actual such a thing as truth? Like, is it true that is some such a thing as like narcissism true? Is that true,
Yes.
or is it just only perceptive or a thought? So you're saying it
Yes,
is true.
all these patterns, all these behaviors, and people are different. Everyone is doing the best with what they got at any given moment, but what they've got is different and the conditions are different. But if somebody is showing up as narcissistic in their behavior and their relationship, that's how they show up. It's better not to deny it, but to face the truth. And the problem with this is that the hardcore narcissist or pathological narcissist, because we all have these qualities, it's just different levels of it, right? They master manipulation. And the point of that is to confuse you. So you don't no longer know what is true.
Yeah.
So if you're in that kind of situation, then it's a very good idea to seek some professional help who knows these patterns, who can tell you where to look and what to notice and make your peace with that, and either stay in knowing what's going on or get yourself distance far, far away. Whichever works, there is no one rule to fit every situation. It's very situational, and it's just for you to know. If it's a family member, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
But at least then you know, and then you can make peace.
Yeah. So you don't think it's just, in other words, it's true. It's not a lie to say to myself, someone is a psychopath, someone is a narcissist. Like these are true things. In other words, it's not just a perception or a label that is no truth in reality. In other words, it's true.
It can be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because if I go around and call everyone narcissist or some psychopath without evidence, then the problem is here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I am one of those. But if these people are showing the clinical signs of it and in big doses, then it's better to know than to pretend that you don't know.
And then where does non-duality come in there?
Everything's happening by itself. There's nobody inside their bag of skin or inside your bag of skin making this happen. These are patterns playing out. Like, okay, let's bring it to a very simple example of a computer system. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, now you're on a phone or on a computer, but if you look at the computer, there is operating system. For me, it's Windows, okay? And there are many, many applications and programs that are installed in Windows and they are running. And Windows is not the manager of these programs, it's a space. Windows is not managing the applications, it's a space in which they are installed. So the way we perceive that inside here, inside the body mind, there is some kind of manager called me that is managing the applications.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing that there's nobody there, it's just programs running, programs interacting, conditioning, conditions, circumstances, everything come together and there's something happens. It's not because somebody inside called Windows made it happen or called me made it happen. It's what's here.
And yet you say to me, it's a good idea to get a therapist and decide if to get away or if it's dangerous. In other words, there still is a thought, there is a me, and action needs to be taken. So how do I put those two together?
Right. The me is not there. The programs are there. So if there is an information coming in that it's a good idea to go and get a therapist, and if that information is taken in and acted upon that, it's happening. If that information is rejected, it's not happening. There is no me to decide what's happening. But you can see what's happening. Because the me, the way that is perceived, is also an arising. It's not the manager, it's not the doer. It's not somebody here running the show. It's one of the applications.
And so that can kind of help me not get angry at them.
Well,
Or
if you need to get
what does
angry,
this
you get
do?
angry. It's not managing life. There's no managing life. You can't make rules how it will be. It will be what it will be. But if the information is coming in now and knowing from within that I need to get to the bottom of this, that's what's happening now. And that story will play
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a choice. It's like you didn't jump into this. You didn't decide that. You came to this, and this is what's playing out. And if you look at non-duality like a concept, it's just another program running. If you see that non-duality is pointing to what is here right now, and whatever is here is life, whatever is here is happening. You are here, aware of what's happening. Not like some manager that is running the show, but as a space in which everything's unfolding. There is kind of more allowing for everything to flow freely. That's the only thing. It's still, the show continues. Waves come in, waves leave. It's knowing that nobody's fault, nobody's in charge. The wave in the ocean is not in charge of the ocean. And that may help a lot, actually, knowing that it's all okay, that you're okay, they're okay, everyone is just
But are the
running.
kids okay? That's kind of what gets me. Because
Yeah,
I'm watching it happen in real time. You know what I mean? And I feel like
yeah.
I'm powerless to stop it. And is there something I can do and all this? But
Well, it depends on the degree, right?
yeah, no, it's too subtle for action. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Then yes, it's heartbreaking to watch it happen. Knowing how this kind of behavior affects little children.
so what do I tell myself to make that okay?
Well, if it's not okay, it's not okay. Then you have to like sugarcoat it. You see what is happening, the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay for you to feel what you feel. That okay.
Mm-hmm. And I guess when you say to me, watch that it's all happening, I guess then I take this like, okay, then I'm the witness. I'm the person who's seeing. So I guess I never get out of the identification, but
There is just what's happening. There's no person in between. How about that? There's no witness.
and even you are not a person?
Conceptually, yeah. Yeah, we can talk about a concept of a person, but who's there to own it?
But who is seeing it if not all of us here on this call?
Good question. How would you say? Who's seeing it?
It's us guys, or religion might say the unseen spirit that animates us or that is looking through our eyes or something. Uh, but that still is a me. It's just an invisible me. That's a spirit. You know what I mean?
That's the
Like,
idea. That's the idea.
mm-hmm.
When you look in experience, right now, there's just seen. Where's the seer?
I feel like it's me in this body who's shaking my head and squinting as you talk. That's what I feel. But
Okay. That sensation, are you that sensation? Is that sensation seeing it?
then I'm the one who's seeing that sensation. That's where I go to. You know what I mean? Like I'm the one
Yes.
who's aware of that feeling. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if you were here or you joined later. There is no self at all. No separate I, me, self at all. Like in zero. There is just what's here, life. All of it, life.
Two questions. Do you think that realizing that will release some suffering and make things easier? And two, I guess, I mean, I guess you can't answer that. It's just, could I ever see that? But I guess, is it worth it? Like, is it good to see that? Like, does it ease things? Does it make things gooder?
I hear you. It's like trying to find some magic pill to make things okay. There is no magic pill to make things okay. Things are already okay. When the mindset is not okay, even that is okay. It's kind of underlying peace with everything that is already here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a magic pill to stop people behaving in a certain ways or stop feeling unwanted emotions. Everything's okay. What that means is that everything, whatever is here, is already here. It's already allowed. It's already included. So it's kind
And
of,
I guess sorry.
it's kind of, in one way, yes, it is a relief because you see that you are not making this happen. There is nobody to blame. There is nobody to have, to own it. In that way, it's easier. But in another way, it's more difficult because if you remove that middle man or middle figure of me that supposedly is experiencing life, surprise, surprise, you may feel more intensely, more intimate. But it's okay then.
Mm-hmm. And I guess
people think that awakening equals no suffering or lesser suffering. But how about that the suffering was never there? There was an idea of me suffering. But the pain and discomfort and everything is continuing. It's just taking that idea, seeing what's actually here without that idea. And everything's still here.
I guess a weird question to end with is like the reason that you do this and try to help people realize who want to realize because you feel it is a way to lessen suffering or realize no one was ever suffering or all of this stuff? Or in other words, is it the best way that you found to ease suffering, or are there other ways? Or is this for the love of truth or because it eases suffering? In other words, are there other ways to ease suffering which might be even better, or there's no way to ease human suffering because human equals suffering and therefore we're here doing this?
That's a wonderful question. Thank you. See, I'm doing this because knowing the truth liberates. Knowing the truth about suffering liberates. And I just help seekers to end seeking and start looking at what is here. And when you start seeing what is here, it self-adjusts. And there are so many paths to arrive at the same. But what works is looking in your own experience. And I'm here to point to that. You have to look in your own experience.
To find if there's a self, or in general, just to investigate your own experience?
Everything. All the answers are in your own experience. Nobody has answers for you. Like theoretically, yes, you can read a book. Practically, your experience is your teacher. Your life is showing up exactly what you need to learn. And every step is here for you. And you're always in the right place, in the right time, doing the right thing.
Really? Are you sure? That sounds good.
Yeah, you're always in the right time, in the right place, doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have a look right now. See, this right here and now. This is it. Right here and now. This is it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom. Hey, George.
Hi, Ilona. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I came a bit late. I just want to follow up on what Tammy said. You say there's no doer and no chooser. And I can get that. But it seems conceptual to me. That is, if I look into my own experience, as you suggest, it seems that there's a chooser here. It seems that I make choices, and it seems that I initiate actions. How do I see through this?
There are choices. Or in other words, there's choosing. There's choosing. The chooser is concept.
Yes, but it seems that there's a chooser. That is, it seems that I am volitionally making a choice. That's the way it seems to be.
Correct. It
If I look into
seems.
my experience,
Uh-huh.
that's the way it seems.
It seems. Now, what is the truth, though? Because many
Well,
things can seem. There is choosing. Okay, if I say right or left, choose right or left.
yes, okay. I'll choose right.
Right, there's choosing. The thought came in, I choose right. Where's the chooser?
When you say the thought came in, I know that. And I know that I do not choose my thoughts. There's no doubt about that. But logically, I'm with you. I'm on the same page with you logically. So if you're trying to somehow convince me intellectually, whatever, I already know that. But I don't know what I can say. It just seems that I'm doing the choosing, that that there's a volitional person here.
It seems. That's your key word. It seems.
Yes, it seems.
It seems. It seems that there is a chooser when there is choosing.
Yes, but how do I get from the sense where it seems that there's a chooser here to I really know in my bones, actually know that that's not true? How do I get to that next step?
Ah, here you need to look. And as you see, when you look, thought comes in by itself. Action happens by itself. The thought, I am the chooser, happens by itself.
Yes, the thought I am the chooser happens by itself. I somehow get that all thoughts happen by themselves. So I don't think that I'm the thinker, okay? But okay, I'm still stuck in it seems that.
It seems
And I
that.
understand what you
You know what?
say.
It seems like you're stuck.
Yes, it does.
It seems like you're stuck. It seems like this is a riddle. Like how there can be a choice without a chooser. How can there be choosing without a chooser?
Well, I think I can get that. Can it be you say choices just happen? Well, things just happen, okay? And it seems that I'm somehow choosing some of those. And
So you choose what's happening in the brain when the choice happens?
no, I'm not choosing what's happening in the brain. I'm not choosing my heart breathing. I'm not choosing my breath.
So what does this chooser do then?
Okay. So what this chooser does, it seems that I was late today. And so I made it, I made a choice to log on late. I made a choice to have, it's morning here. I'm in Dallas, Texas. It seems that I made a choice to have breakfast. It seems that I'm making choices to do all of those actions. That's the way it seems.
It's correct. That's how it seems. I made the choices. When really it was one thing after another, just flowing freely, including the narrative. I made these choices.
The reason I'm laughing is sort of like, yes, you're right. You're right, Ilona. Yes, you're right.
So it seems like you're stuck, but you're not stuck.
Yes, it seems that I'm stuck. Okay, I don't know whether it's pointless to continue on. Maybe someone else has something to contribute. But it seems that I'm stuck, and I don't think there's anything you can say now that would make a difference. Or if there is, say it.
There is nobody here to get stuck. It's just a feeling, a sensation, a thought about me being stuck.
Yeah, but it's more than a thought.
Yeah,
There's
there's a
a
sensation.
body sensation that goes along with that stuckness.
Yeah,
There's a tightness.
yeah. Are you that tightness?
Well, no, but that tightness seems real.
Is it stuck to you?
Don't know. I can't say it's stuck to me, but
What is
it's real.
stuck?
That tightness is reinforcing the thought that there's the thought and there's the body sensation, which interprets, which I interpret as being due to that thought. So there's like maybe I really need to just look into my body and look at those body sensations. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, because it seems that the body sensations are maybe what's, when I say it seems that, maybe it seems that because of the body sensations. Maybe I need to look into those more.
Yeah, because when it seems like you're not looking, you're thinking.
Yes. Okay.
Just when you
Thank you.
look, when you look and see, it doesn't seem like you see.
Yes, when I look out at the world seems real, although I know that even that, to some extent, is illusory. That is, that doesn't just produce vision accurately. I mean, this is what I read, and I think, and I've seen evidence that. So I know even there's an illusion, but that illusion doesn't seem harmful. That illusion seems very helpful. It helps me navigate the world. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ilona.
You're welcome, George. Great to talk to you.
Well, I haven't been to the group that many times, Ilona, but I have the same experience that George did, and I could share my experience with it. I don't have a question, but it might be helpful to him because I went through the same thing. So I don't know if that's a procedure here or if that's
whatever you want to share, please share.
okay. I just hope it's useful. I did this about, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago with you, with someone from the Liberation Unleashed. In fact, I forgot what it was so long ago. And I went through the whole process, the texting, and I got to the very end of it. And I said, I just have this sense of self, the sense that this is a, here and a there, and that there's self here, and have this sense. And I didn't get to finish the process at that time because of that, until I spoke to you. And I said, personally, I was talking to somebody else, and you said, oh, it's just a sense. It doesn't mean anything. And I went, oh, in that case, I've got no problem. And that was 10 years ago. And I still get a sense of self, but I have no doubt at all that there is. And I'm gonna just repeat this, because I am a person speaking to you. All right. If there's no doubt in my mind about that. But I also have no doubt, and if I may just use the words, that there is no unseen spirit looking through my eyes, separate from my mind and body, that's perched over here or back there or making choices or doing any of this. That's a different thing. Now, a sense of that will occur. And what I mean by a sense of that, because I'm quite clear on this, is that I have a sense, this example, that there's somebody behind me. I look, there's nobody behind me. Then I stop looking and I'm walking down the street. I have a sense there's somebody behind me. And I look again and there's nobody behind me. I do this enough times and I realize there's nobody behind me. It was just a sense, okay? And the sense is nothing to do with the understanding or the seeing that there is no separate spirit looking through the body, making choices. Choices happen. Seeing happens, smelling happens, feelings happen, thoughts happen, but there's nobody doing that. It's just the program's running, and I have no problem with it. And it is a huge relief to me since that occurred, since that seeing through it occurred, because nothing happened. There was nothing to disappear in the first place, but that was just such a relief. I didn't have to defend this being. I didn't have to protect this being. This being couldn't be insulted anymore. This being didn't have to defend its character, it's who it was, because there was just nothing there. So it was just a relief and a sense of freedom, and just like, what nonsense. What was that? What nonsense. But there is a person here. People recognize me. I live in a particular location. My wife gets annoyed by things that this person does, but there isn't anything separate from it. So I just hope that's helpful in some way. There's nothing wrong with a sense of that. There's nothing wrong with a sense of duality. There's nothing wrong with the sense of I'm here and there's a there, and a sense of time, place, and all these things. It's just sensing happening.
Beautiful.
So,
thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Cliff. Thank you.
Yeah. Sensing happening, choosing happening, seeing happening. Yeah. And here we are at the end of our meeting. Ending happening.